Yeah, hey everybody, and just welcome to Ireland, the smallest, one of the smallest nations within the United States of Europe, and it's Monday the 5th of October 2009, and it's around about 8:30 in the evening, and I just wanted to throw in every now and again a little sort of stat about Europe, just to let you know there's 750 MEPs on the European Parliament, and we send 12, so that'll give you an idea of our punching power in Europe. All right, so that's the reality. If you don't believe me, you can check it up yourself. Okay, Google the EC Parliament and European Parliament and see how many's in it and how many we send along. That's the reality. Just want to talk about two things. One, very briefly, it's a government statistic, and it's just been published, and what it is, it's what's called the Live Register, and what that is, it's male and females who are registered with the state for employment and are receiving some form of employment benefit, either on an ongoing basis, in that they're either permanently unemployed or they're partially unemployed. In other words, they're part-time workers or they're casual workers or whatever. Okay, and what I've done is I put the little link up for you, the URL, so you can make the little connection yourself and have a look at it straight off from the Central Statistics Office here in Dublin. Or what I've done is I've put it up, I'm going to put it up now for you, and you can have a look at it on this little snip, and you can stop it and examine it. It's very simple. Anyway, what it says is basically, it says it's the Live Register for September 2009, and it tells you that as of September 2009 there are 429,400 people on this Live Register, and 1 year before, in September 2008, we had 245,800, so it's gone up by 180,000 in 1 year. And it obviously it's not going to stop all of a sudden. It's we've just entered this recession stroke depression, so things are going to get a lot worse before they get any better. Okay, and it's one other thing I'll just tell you, which is just in passing. It tells you that the Live Register is not what they call the statistic number for unemployed, but in reality it is, one way or another it is, because these are people who want work, can't get work, and are seeking state benefit, are being paid by the state. Now they're either been paid full unemployment or been paid partial unemployment. Do you understand? And that what they do is they only include the people on the unemployment register who receive full unemployment. So if you're only getting part-time a part-time payment from the state, or if you're a casual worker or something, you're not included in this. But at the end of the day, look, there are 429,000 people, 429,400 people this week, and it's going to increase next week, and the state has to pay them either fully or partially, one way or the other, and they have to borrow the money in our name to pay them. Okay, and thank God I am not one of them. Anyway, the next thing I just want to talk about in general is the state of Ireland, and what I want to basically say is I want to just bear with me, will you? Because this might sound like a bit of a ramble, but it's not. I hope it doesn't come out as a ramble. The concept of a republic is based. It goes back to Rome. The first republic that we know in modern history, what's called modern history, over the last 2,500 years, was in Rome. The concept basically came out of Rome. Okay, and then what happened was, with the fall of Rome in the 5th century, it was a big break, and then we had to wait for the city-states of Florence and Genoa and Milan and all that, and they revived it in the early Renaissance, and then they fell again, and then you had we had to wait until Cromwell in England for it to emerge in a modern concept in England through his form of parliamentarianism. And then what happened was that fell away, and you had the reconstitution of the monarchy in 1660. There's a brief history of republicanism, by the way. and then we have to wait to France for the concept to emerge out of Freemasonry and out of the modern concept that we all know, and it emerged out of French Freemasonry and French liberal Protestant thought, and the first big initiators of that were in America. They embraced the French, the ideology came out of France, they embraced it, and they set up the Republic in America, the Great Republic, and then France set up her Republic, and then the Republican idea spread through Europe, and eventually we embraced it initially in 1922. We sort of toyed with the idea and then brought it about in the late 40s. Okay, so the idea of the Republic, what this is, Republica, it's Latin, and it means the thing of the people. The thing is the state of the people. That's what it's supposed to represent. The state of the people. That's what it's supposed to be. And in our constitution, our little Irish constitution, which is now subservient to the big European constitution, we aspired to the concept of really what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like an egalitarian meritocracy, and what that means is it's supposed to be like equals among equals, if you know what I mean. And what will happen is the best people will rise to the top through talent, through their behaviour, and through through the aspiration of their contemporaries and their fellow man. But what has happened in Ireland is that has sort of been turned on its head, and what has happened is the English left us in 1922, and the whole English law system and the whole English social system is based around two things. It's based around primarily the maintenance of the monarchy and the maintenance of the establishment. Now, we didn't have a monarchy, so we substituted the monarchist principle for the establishment principle. So really what we have is we have an Irish law system and an Irish social system and an Irish political system, and it's given completely over to the maintenance of our establishment, our elite, the little Irish elite. And they go down as, they are like the judges, the Supreme Court judges, the judges of the High Court, the leading guards, the leading politicians, the leading professionals within all the professions. And you know, that manifests itself in the state and in full state bodies and in semi-state bodies, and we've talked about it all about the brown nose and about the giving out of jobs for the boys and all the rest of it. But really, when you examine it all, really it's a destruction of a republic, because there's no meritocracy about it anymore. What it's about is these people all go to they're all from the same families. They're all from the same, about 5,000 or 7,000 families. That's all they are. That's all this is. About 5,000 or 7,000 families. They all have the same amount of money. All the money sourced from similar sources. They all go to the best schools. They all have private insurance. They all go to private hospitals. They all go to the best secondary schools and then on to college. They all go into the professions, or as I've told you, or politics or whatever. It's like a self-perpetuating thing. Alright? If they ever find themselves in difficulties with the state for whatever reason, they never ever go to jail. None of them ever go to jail. They can do what they like within Irish society. They can even kill people. And they'll get pro rata adjusted sentences because of who they are socially and politically. You've seen it. I mean, people who live in this country know this all as an ongoing thing. This is just ongoing. If you live in the inner city of Dublin, or you live in one of the Dublin suburbs, or one of the cities of Ireland, and you commit a crime, you'll be put away for a serious amount of time. If you're from one of these Dublin 4, one of these social elite families, or whatever, or you've got political connections, or you're part of the establishment, be put aside. Small sentence be given to you. Be dealt with. Maybe serve 4 or 5 years for a major crime, and you'll be let off. The rest of it will be put to one side. That's what it is. That's what it is. These people can do no wrong. They're above the law. They're above everything. This is their society. We're just peasants in it.